It's important to note Wiggins entered this game with a rib injury. So now Braun came out early, sought to attack. Is it because of injury or does he just want to set the tone for the team? I think it's a balance between the two of them. Now, once again, post up to Wiggins, right? Bump, bump. And Wiggins has that rib injury. Braun knows it too. Now, if you're a player who steps out on the floor with an injury, the other team has all the right to go and attack it because you decide to step out on the floor. And if you hate the fact that I just said that, you might as well hate Kobe, Jordan, all those players because they even admitted to it, saying that they expose players for having certain weaknesses and injuries so that they could be able to exploit what they have. Now, once again, Braun on the Wiggins, bumping. He does not want to take on that contact to an injured rib. Because Braun, 6'8", 6'9", 250, 260 or so. That's not a nice bump to take on. Now, D'Lo on the post. The way he's able to get these up so quickly and he's so efficient with it is how quick he actually gets up into a shot because he doesn't use a lot of legs, so he can't shoot it straight over the top of you. He gets that ball up quick with his pickups. So, boom. Notice how quick he gets his ball to his release point. Boom, already right there. It's just super quick. So, making up for that lack of jumping, he puts a good arc on it, gets to his release point quicker. So now he's able to use that mid-range game in the best way that fits him. And now Braun, peep that shit by Draymond. He just got hit in his head, right? Braun sitting on the floor. Braun sitting on the floor. Braun is comedy, bro. Braun is hilarious, bro. It comes down trailing 3. Woo. Look at this. Look at it. Look at him. Look at it. Braun is hilarious, bro. Do you think he staged that? I ain't gonna lie to you, though. I call LeCap. I think he set that whole shit up off the rip. He got hit on his head. He was like, I'm going to sit back down. You know, I'm going to take my time, but I'm going to come in and hit a trailing 3. Because now he gets his rhythm on his footwork, bro. LeCap right there, bro. Yeah, ugly for that. Damn, Draymond missed that. Swing, swing, get a 3, right? We're going to go back to Draymond, though, right? Let's go back to Draymond. So, boom, Clay catch, Clay rip attack, kick to Draymond. But Draymond was not remaining present. He was thinking too far ahead of himself. When you're playing, you got to play in sequence. You got to play sequentially. So, you're not too focused on what you're about to do. You're just more focused on what you have to do right now. And then you're leading yourself to the next thing that you have to do. So, while you're playing, think to yourself, now, then next, not what is next. We're going to talk about Austin Reeves in a little bit, though. He's been mad streaky throughout this playoffs. Then what the why the we get Jack Harlow and Ang courtside at the game, bro? I'll never believe I'll see this shit in my life. That's crazy. The good old you reach, I teach. But what I want you people on 80 right there is the timing of that reach, right? Because if you literally mistime your reach by a matter of tenths of seconds or hundreds of seconds, it could be a difference of you getting crossed over or somebody blown by you or you actually being able to get that steal. So when do you need to reach for that steal is when the ball is on its way up and not fully in the hand of the player that has the ball. Notice, that ball is already in Steph's hand. So at that point, Steph is able to manipulate that ball however he sees fit to be able to get around AD because he just literally reached split seconds late. So you got to catch that ball on its way up before it does reach that hand and they can be able to control it however they want. Boom, Jordan Poole. Another tough night for Poole. But peep that right there, that late. This is where the same foot, same hand finish could be utilized. So peep this right here, right? Crossover, boom. On this foot right here is where you'll get to that left, extend, finish, get it to the rim, right? But taking that right step allows Hachimura to get into his gather and be able to block that shot. So boom, he gets that 2-foot stop and he's able to get that block. Then Austin Reeves. One of my favorite moves by Austin Reeves too. That behind the back. And it's not nothing crazy. It seems super basic, but I really like it because how sharp his angle is and how sharp he changes that angle off of making that move. So boom, notice. A lot of people make this behind the back and they'll kind of allow themselves to get out or they'll have to turn their shoulders from here and then go here. But Reeves kind of makes it all in one motion. So as soon as he makes it behind the back, he's wrapping it straight to his next angle and making it super sharp. Then boom, gets it to his pickup and one on Steph. One of my favorite moves by Reeves. And that was an absurd flop by Schroeder. And he's mad about it, but come on, bro. He caught you flopping. You can't be mad. Why are you going to turn over on your stomach and lay down on the floor when you know he caught you flopping? Bro, we got to put an end to this, bro. This is extremely bad because peep this replay. Look how bad this is, bro. He doesn't even try to get through the screen. He just stands there, acts like he is going to go, but then just grabs Peyton and pulls himself down to the floor. We've got to put an end to this, bro. Look. Come on now, bro. Come on now, bro. We got to put an end to this. This is bad. Wiggins. That's why getting to the deep corner is so important. Wiggins, right? Transition, right? Getting down. This is not corner. When your coach tells you to go corner, this is not corner, right? And notice how it's going to affect them. DiVincenzo's going to make this pass to Wiggins where he sees Wiggins is. But now Bron is up so high to get this tag on the Looney. And since Wiggins is already in line right there, Bron is also in line of the pass to make to Wiggins because he's higher up in that corner. Whereas if he got all the way to this deep corner, that pass gets thrown straight here to the corner. No pick off by Bron. And now Wiggins gets an open corner three. That's why getting deep corner is just so important. You got to do it every single time. So boom, Reeves right here, right? This is a little 2-for-1 situation at the end of the second quarter, right? Reeves passes up the first one, passes up the second one. Now he gets called for a travel. Like, come on, bro. Reeves be doing this shit too much. He be doing those little pump fake shit and trying to drive, bro. Dead that shit, bro. Shoot it. Shoot it, please. You keep hesitating. And now when you do take the shots you shoot, you're also hesitating. Because all these other ones, you could tell he's already hesitating and thinking about it. So him not taking these open ones that he should take are now affecting the ones that he does take. Because the when he does take it, he's still unsure of whether he wants to shoot it. And if you don't have full confidence and trust in yourself to make a shot when you have the opportunity, guess what? You're probably going to miss it. Because you take away that confidence just a little bit. That'll take your percentage from 40% going down to 30%. Because that's literally the difference of one jumper. You take 7 threes in the game. You could go 3 for 7, be at 42, or you could go 2 for 7 and be at like around 30 or so. It's a difference. It's a low quantity of shots that you take within the course of a game that could completely alter it, all because of a little mind adjustment that you need. It's nothing about the work you put in. It's about how you think within your mind. The second that you hesitate, you're done, bro. So Reeves got to stop doing that shit. Now they get that turnover. They missed out on the 2-for-1 because he passed up 2 shots right now, right? Then Clay with the 3. Boom. Air ball. DiVincenzo rebound. Blocked by AD. This is like sequence we was talking about. Then Reeves gets it. And guess what happens when he stops thinking about his jumpers and hesitating? He pulls this shit from 54 or 60 feet and knocks it down. Please stop hesitating doing that bullshit, bro. Peter's right here by D'Lo to start this play. All the way in this left corner. Boom. Little form shot. Right? Swing. Bron gets to his post up. Throw across court. Hits D'Lo. Knockdown. That little form shot that he did to start, you may see it as nothing. But to D'Lo, that's what's going to give him his feel for his jumper. Because that's the key if you want to be able to hit shots. You have to have a good feel and not necessarily think about all the stuff that you have to do within your shot. Like your mechanics, your elbow, your hand placement, your feet. You don't have time to think about that stuff. It's going to make you tense up, tighten up all your muscles. And then before you know it, you're missing shots because you're trying to think too much on one thing. You've got to allow your shots to feel good. And that little form shot D'Lo did to start was able to give him his feel so he can knock down this next shot. So whatever it is that you need to do to be able to get good feel for your jumper within the game, do it. Now D'Lo, come back down this left side. That's not a fucking foul. Let's look at this shit again. Replay. The NBA needs to stop making calls when players flop. Good job the first time by realizing that flop by Schroeder was actually a flop. But situations like this is like, bro, come on now. Look at this. This ain't no foul. This ain't no foul, bro. He may have went out of bounds. That was not no push. And if that is a foul in the books, that's soft as fuck. That's a great play by DiVincenzo. And the fact Bron almost hit that shit too is insane. But people what DiVincenzo did to manipulate Bron, right? Bron getting on the break. And you know Bron's going to want to get some contact right here, right? So what does DiVincenzo do? He's going to stay in front of Bron this whole time as if he's going to try to cut him off. But as soon as Bron takes that last dribble, he's gonna hollow him out and move backwards instead of moving in the line at which he must stay in front of Bron. So boom, he baits him, finds no contact, throws that up, and then DiVincenzo is able to get this stop, not even having to touch Bron. And then Bron on Moody. That's a finesse Moody right there with a little flex at the end. But peep what he did to sell this right here, right? Now Bron's gonna turn, and right here, Moody drops his base. Now he's gonna begin to load up his weight onto his arms, onto his forearms, be prepared to take on contact and take on a bump in the post by Bron. But what does Bron do? He turns his back, and instead of taking on this bump, he turns into a spin. So boom, he turns right off all that weight that Moody put onto him. He turns his corner, gets this easy lay. And boom, it's such a basic move, but to a very tough pass. But that basic move to start though, that little in and out. This little in and out right here. A basic move with pace will make a basic move with no pace look 1,000 times better. I'm telling you, if you just add pace to the moves that you do, it could be a crossover, a between the legs, a behind the back, an in and out, a little stutter dribble, pound dribble. It's going to make that move that we all already know work 1,000 times better because you're using pace. And with pace, that's how you manipulate defenders. You make them think you're about to do one thing, you slow down for a second, and boom, get right into what you're about to do. Then right here, another cut by Rui. But Pete this right here by Clay. Now, guarding the weak side corner is the hardest thing to do as a help defender. It's the hardest thing to do because there's just so much distance at which you have to be able to see. And the idea that we have to see one looking at two spots is extremely tough because they're so far from each other. But how best can you utilize your vision and what you're able to see by possibly looking at one spot is by dropping back as far as you can. There's still a ton of space on this baseline for Clay to drop, and by him dropping, he has a better peripheral to be able to see from that wing to that corner. And if he can't see two looking at one spot, he's going to be able to play that spot and use less head movement to be able to see two. Because literally think about it. If he's standing right here, he's going to have to turn his head all the way like this. He drops back, maybe just has to turn his head just like this. He doesn't have to turn his head all the way from one person on this side. That's a whole 180 degrees on the other side. So utilize all the space that you have when guarding this weak side corner. Now he cuts right behind him. He thinks he's still in that corner. He'd even try to turn his head and take a look. Now Rui gets behind him, gets a foul, gets a free throw line. Now Reeves, right? That's crazy. Not only did the ref see the travel, D'Lo saw the travel. Reeves need to stop doing this hesitating bullshit. And so going into this Denver series, Reeves just needs to stop doing this hesitating, jump and pull shit, pump fake bullshit, and just let this shit fly just like this, just like he did with that half-court jumper. So that's the end of this breakdown, man.